hate the king! Fuck that guy!
Yeah.
Give it to the man.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons!
Dungeons and Dragons!
Last we were
Yeah.
together in the city of Xantia on the island continent of Crastra. We find our adventurers in and around their moored airship right on the coast. Having adventured into the city of Xantia a bit and poked around for clues, trying to get a bead on where their good friend Casey might be. Casey, who they'd last seen being kidnapped by a beholder many moons ago, it seems, even though it hasn't been quite that long.
I was messed up. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Vaguely enough.
How long ago was that, actually?
I remember that we only had to do a little bit more damage and it would have ran away on its own.
That's funny, yeah.
It's been about 8 days. And last episode, from atop the airship, you were all confronted by various visions, each of them with a little bit of personal meaning to you, and each of them seemed to be attempting to break you in some way, or to make you feel sad, at least. And as that spectacle ended, and you were threatened by the individual saying that they were looking forward to confronting you again in the future, you went on with your initial plans to dig deeper into some rumblings about the king of Xantia. Groups of people have been meeting about his strange behavior, and you were going to meet with one of those groups. As a crew, you headed towards the docks and towards one of the warehouses where one of these clandestine meetings were going to be held. And as you approached, you saw a figure just outside the door. The figure turned towards you as you approached, and the two closest, Angel and Janet Tammy, both recognized the figure as your old friend Casey. Callisto Clausius held a hand up, a gesture of greeting, and then a second hand, an odd gesture of greeting, and then a wall of water issued forth from Casey and began racing towards you. In this moment, we're going to freeze the frame for just a second. And I want to make sure with everybody here, are we all square? Did I miss anything? Do you have anything that needs to be brought up before we get going?
We're all there, right? Correct?
Or no. You guys are like a minute behind.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we're not a minute behind. We're
I
like,
think we'd isolated that, or decided that you were less than a minute behind. It was more like 15 seconds, and you were rounding the corner right about the same time.
Then yes,
that's the one.
And Angel
that's
saw
the
it.
one.
So it's in that moment where the rest of you round the corner, and you see an already shocked Janet Tammy and Angel staring at the wall of water, which has come to a complete standstill in between the two of you. And as you're staring at the water and trying to see through it, the opacity makes it a little difficult to see. And while you can see a shimmering figure of what is probably Casey in the distance, you're not entirely positive, but you do all notice Angel's body stiffen. It seems as if Angel is suddenly occupied by something that he wasn't occupied with before. And Angel, you're the only one that can hear this. There's a voice in your head, and it's that of Casey. And you hear Casey's voice talking to you through the wall of water, and she says,
but does it sound all funny, like?
no, it sounds just like Casey. It's not the water that's distorting the voice and making it sound any different. If Angel hears a difference, there's a hard edge to Casey's voice that isn't normally there. Almost a brittleness. And it's with malice that you hear, Angel, you met my new friend, Sal. He and I serve Iris. He likes to see your sadness. We're going to make you very sad. You shouldn't have come. And then you see Casey, through the rippling water, turn, take 5 long steps, and dive off the side of the pier.
That's kind of dope.
Hit the water with hardly a splash, and then disappear. And as you hear the splash on the other side, the wall of water crashes, and around your feet rushes the remaining water. It in an area that's used to getting a lot of rain and not unaccustomed to a lot of water, it all quickly dissipates down the drains and gullies that are meant to help it run away. And you guys are standing wet, and only Angel has any kind of a message. Everybody else is now just wet.
Well, that was weird.
Was that Casey?
Did it push us back?
No, it wasn't wall of water. It wasn't meant to. It was meant to separate you from.
Right.
To the best of your, from what you're guessing, you think that it was meant to separate you from Casey, not to hurt you.
Did you hear that?
Hear what? I mean, I heard the water, if that's what you mean. But
No.
Would we have? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that. Would we have heard? I mean, would we have seen Casey, or would we have turned the corner and just seen the wall of water, and that was it?
That's a good question, and my pause is because I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I've got 15 seconds. I guess you would just see the wall of water forming. You wouldn't have any information about who was on the other side of it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's all.
I think wasn't somebody.
Yeah.
was I able to see where she, like, what direction in the water she went?
Yes, you were able to see the figure that was blurry through the water and the direction it ran. And it's easy to, even from where you're standing, look and see that the alleyway turns into pier, which turns into not 15 or 20 feet away. The water, I'm sorry, the waterfront is well beyond that point. So anybody would be able to jump in the water from there. A lot of these warehouses are built right out over the water on the piers and docks that the ships attach themselves to.
So I'm really caught up. Never mind.
What?
It's really stupid. It reminded me of H2O. In H2O, that classic mermaid show for children. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
That was Casey, right? Like you saw her
and heard her.
Heard her? She said something?
Yeah, I think. Please. Yeah, it was. Yeah, she said something to me. She said, that we met her new friend, and that they serve. I basically tell her all the information.
That's it. I relay all of the information.
I relay all the information.
So you tell everybody that Casey in your head said, Angel, you met my new friend Sal. He and I serve Iris.
See, I could have gotten it.
Are we regrouping, or I assume she's just telling Janet Tammy?
I thought she was telling Janet Tammy.
I thought she was telling everyone as everyone was walking up.
Did we walk up?
Yeah, we would probably walk up and be like, yo, what was that?
Also, is Janet Tammy still a dog?
No, I was going to turn into a dog as soon as we walked up.
Oh, okay.
So I was about to turn into a dog.
I'm gonna say.
And you're sure you saw her? It was her.
100% Casey, yes.
Wow. So
at least she's alive.
Kind of doused you in water.
Yeah, I'm a little wet. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I don't have like a change of clothes or anything. I don't know what to do Because like these clothes get real
When you
heavy when
turn
they're
into-
wet. And
When you turn into a dog, are you gonna stay wet or does the water disappear?
Well, you have wet fur. Is that a weird one? I don't know. That's a good question.
well, I have to take off my clothes to turn into an animal, or they get
What?
destroyed.
What you?
Hey,
That's
can we?
never
Oh,
happened
see, is
before.
that,
Hold on.
is that actually a
Hold
thing?
on.
Wait,
Hold
is that
on.
actually?
Yeah, does that
Oh,
imply
okay.
that?
Hold on.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's true.
But
No.
does that mean Jen
So
and
every
Tammy?
time you've transformed into something,
Yeah,
you've just
what?
stripped-
You've been fucking like buck ass nude, bro.
No,
Yeah,
your,
bro.
clothes, your clothes turn into like your fur and stuff,
Yep.
like an anamorph.
You just got like we've all gotten just like an
'Cause
eye
that's-
full of blue
that's
butt
quite-
like every time she's just fucking.
that's
That's really funny.
quite the change for us to just be understanding right now.
That has changed my entire perception of our battles. Like everything is like very.
We gotta.
That's like in the middle of battle, Janet Tammy has to stop and be like, "Hold on, guys, hold on, I'm going to turn into a spider."
There's some potions that might affect just your body and not your clothes, but generally speaking, what you're talking about, you absorb those things within you.
Yes.
Even your pack is absorbed.
Magic's kind of fucked up. That's really strange.
But you can't reach in your pack while it's absorbed into your camelback.
Right.
That'd be cool. Like you could turn into a kangaroo and still reach into your pouch of infinite holding.
I don't like that at all. Actually, I really,
Ooh.
really
Keep
don't
pulling
like
up baby.
That's
co-
That's
baby
actually kind of cool.
that. I actually hate that.
No, I
Baby
like
kangaroos.
I really don't like that at all.
Joey.
It's got really fucked up implications because druids, when they reach like really high levels, they can be an animal forever. So, what if you just if you just become a kangaroo and you put on a bag of holding, like you could just be a kangaroo. Like that's just like
Yeah.
yeah, that's
There
Jim.
you go.
He's a kangaroo.
He's a kind of great.
Just forever. That's
Look.
just
That's taking at least one level in fighter then.
Yeah. Them bitches buff.
they are buff. That's kind of.
That was my favorite Tekken 2
weird
character.
characters?
My second favorite Tekken 2 character.
That's actually really funny. That's a throwback. Mine was the bear.
Oh, he was the Russian
Yeah,
bear.
Kuma. It's just bear in Japanese. It's funny.
So who's Sal?
Oh, we're
It
Maybe
sounds
that was the
kinda
asshole who was
similar to
messing with us earlier.
Valendrill, like Val, but with an S. So I'm not. That might not be it.
I really don't think that Valendrill, right? That's your
Yeah,
party
the one
member
with
was.
the Scar.
I really don't think that it was really him. I think it was just this new asshole Sal fucking with us.
But that's
You know?
mean. Why would he do that?
I don't know. Didn't Angel just say that they wanted us to suffer or whatever the hell?
Does that mean Casey doesn't like us anymore?
Sweetheart, I feel like you're
No,
so behind
I'm
on
pretty
this.
sure
They are
Casey's
being
being
mind
controlled.
controlled. They're not. It's not of her free will.
Wait, but even Casey?
Yeah. Did she have a ring
Yeah.
on? Did you see her fingers?
She did have a ring on.
She had a ring on?
At
Yeah.
the very end of our last episode, Jan and Tammy saw a quick flash.
Oh
of-
wait, I thought it was
It was
Angel.
me. I'm gonna take credit for that 19
Very well.
that I got.
It was
Angel,
really good. I got like a 5.
Jan and Tammy hasn't seen shit.
No, I don't think she had a ring on or
Yeah.
anything. I think she was just chilling.
No, she had one.
She had a ring on?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she is being mind controlled.
Role play.
Funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wolf was there too, so Wolf's also soaking wet.
Bark, bark. That was Wolf.
Wolf smells real bad now.
He doesn't smell bad. He hasn't had time for the wet dog smell to really sort of like ferment. So yeah, he probably just smells cleaner now. Actually,
Yeah, but it's
Because
pretty
he just-
immediate. It's like
And
if you,
Timmy
if you
wipes
spray
her
a
wet
dog with
hand
a
on
hose, it
Monolith's
smells
shirt.
moderately better for like 30 minutes.
I wipe my wet hands on Monolith.
more like 30 seconds. My dog is stinky.
Yeah, but Gwen's
Yeah, she's
special.
always-
She's got a special Gwen funk, I'm sure.
She absolutely is.
That's terrible.
I'm positive that that's the case.
An odd thing happens in your nearly desolate alleyway that you're walking on that leads to a pier, alleyway leading to a pier. you're pretty much by yourselves, the group of you, and you're all standing around and talking, which is why it's so noticeable when another group about your size approaches you and comes up close to you while passing you and makes eye contact with you and then disappears into the door that's not too far from where you are, maybe about 20 feet beyond where you were, next to where Casey was standing originally. You're alone again in the room, but the group that just passed you.
Anything remarkable about them?
They left a smell of spice and cooking behind them. It's a noticeable smell left in the air after they passed.
And they just walked past us?
Yep. It's
Are
like
they the
patchouli on a hippie.
restaurant employees, like the ones who were coordinating? That's
Aunt
curious.
Tammy's gonna be like, that smells really good, and follows them.
I'm gonna have Zeph roll a perception check and then also remind me what your involvement was in the restaurants. Did you go in? Were you a part of that?
Yeah, I was inside. I went inside.
Okay.
I follow them inside.
Okay.
Oh well, no, they're not. They're not going inside yet. They're rolling a perception roll to see if they recognize.
Parker, this die you bought me, the fucking orange one, is so cursed. It
Come
never
get a
rolls
new
above
one.
it.
Come get a different one.
How many times have I rolled this thing? I don't think it's rolled above a 10. Literally once.
Come grab a different dice.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a 6. That's a 6 on perception.
A 6?
4 plus 2.
You definitely recognize that smell. It's from your childhood, you think, and that's quite a memory for you. But you can't connect it to anything. There's just a lot of nostalgia with it.
Huh.
I walk into the restaurant, and then I follow the people that smell like cooking.
Well, there's no restaurant.
I'm
That's
We're
the
outside
warehouse
of the
where the meeting's taking
clandestine
place.
location. Is that where they went into, or did they just walk past us and keep going?
they use.
No, they walked into.
I want
the
to fix.
meeting
I want to
place.
fix whatever I messed up. You guys are right now standing on an alleyway that turns into a pier. As you stare down it, you can even see ships about an eighth of a mile down. There's warehouses on both sides of you with doorways, and you were heading to one of those warehouses. And usually the only people going in and out of them are people hauling crates and barrels, the people that are offloading stuff from the ships.
Right. But we just saw this group go inside.
Exactly. But there aren't any shops or anything like that around you. The restaurant that I mentioned was the one that you guys had all visited the night before and the day before. And
It was John's or Jerry's? What was it?
Joe's, I think.
Joe's.
Joe's, and Joe's too,
Yeah.
T-O-O.
I just kind of meant I was gonna follow them in.
Wait, before Janet Tammy walks away, I'm gonna get her attention. I'm just gonna say, I think at this point we should just all go together.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
Yep. Angel's following.
Yeah, might as
And then
well.
I follow them inside as well.
Janet Tammy ducks just a little to get inside the door. It's not that the door is small. It's a normal-sized door. Janet Tammy's just an abnormally large half-orc. And stepping into the room, you are encased in gloom. It takes your eyes a minute to adjust before you can see anything at all. And as the light and your eyes come to terms with one another, you begin to make out the shapes of stacked barrels and crates. And in the distance, in the far corner, you see a small little orange glow, the bobbing glow of somebody smoking a cigar or a pipe or something. And in the warehouse, you smell the pungent smell of tobacco in the air. And that's where you're standing. It's not the smell you smelled on the cooking people. It's not a spice. It's a, tobacco smell. And I believe you're all now just inside the door looking in. Imagine a warehouse that's about 40 feet wide and 20 feet deep, and the back half of it is stacked filled with dusty crates and barrels.
Am I able to see where the people went, or is the light the only indication of people?
Yeah, the only sign of people is in the far corner, and you get the impression that's where they went, just simply because you don't see any movement anywhere else.
Okay, I walk towards it. I go to it. But like I want to be like kind of stealthy about it, so I'm gonna try and like I'm gonna turn to everybody and be like,
we walked through the front door, didn't we? I feel like we kind of abandoned stealth when we just like walked through the front door.
okay, never mind. I'm just gonna walk in.
Because I think we already walked in. We already walked inside, didn't we? Like,
Aren't they
Janet had to
expecting-
stoop to the door.
Yeah.
I want to do my disguise now, I guess. Because
The person that you're. Yeah.
yeah, the person I said I was, because I forgot I was going to say that, and they're going to have no idea who any of us are if not one of us is a familiar face.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
casting disguise
Right.
self to be the same middle-aged journalist or whatever, fantasy journalist.
Janet, can we give me a stealth roll?
I take it back. I'm not gonna be stealthy.
Too late. You are tiptoeing across the.
13.
You quietly make your way across the dark room towards the people. As you get closer in the darkness, you notice that the one that's smoking the cigarette or cigar, as you get closer, you can tell it's a cigarillo. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Somebody's a little fancy.
Seems to be the only person looking at you, because everybody else involved in the little conversation that you begin to hear has their backs towards you. So the person who's smoking the tobacco saw all of you come through the door one at a time, and nobody else heard Janet Tammy slipping across the open walkway. That's probably why Angel was able to transition into his costume, his disguise, so effectively. None of the other people that are in the room, at least those that Janet Tammy can see, were able to see that transition take place. And you're not able to tell if the other individual saw it or not. But as all of you make your way over to the group, the last one, probably Erdan, clunking across the walkway, makes his way up to the group, and four heads whip around quickly to see all of you. Nobody seems hostile, but they definitely seem guarded. And you're now looking at the same group of people that passed by you a moment ago, and you've got a closer look. Two of them have their hoods pulled back, and so they're easier to see. And those that remain hooded have features that you're able to distinguish. You're looking at two elves, a dwarf, and a human. And the four of them all seem to be workers. And
this is the four that are separate from the one smoking the cigarillo.
Right. These are the four that passed you on the walkway outside.
Mm-hmm.
You thought there were five maybe that came in. There was 4 or 5, but you're only seeing 4 people talking to this individual. And the people that turn around to stare at you as you're coming in, like I said, aren't shocked. It seems like everybody was expecting more people for the meeting. And that's what the human actually indicates when he says to all of you in a very gruff voice, I didn't expect so many. Got a lot of people out there that are pissed with the king, it seems. I assume that's why you're here?
Yeah, the king sucks.
What,
Right.
That's exactly why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick it to the man.
Yeah, the man.
Yeah.
Who is the king? Who we're gonna stick it to?
Hate that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's the king.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna.
Guys, what are you doing?
Ooh, that was just like the mental image of like this hard, like, you guys are here for the meeting.
The secret
And then
kill
through-
the king meeting.
Yeah, I hate the king. Fuck that guy. Woo!
Give it to the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I've never joined the rebellion before.
I guess I'll need a couple of deception rolls.
I'm not participating.
Deception rolls.
Yeah, only from the people that were being deceiving.
You know what's gonna be infuriating?
Wait.
It's gonna be really good.
You know,
Was I being deceiving? I don't think I was.
I got an 8.
I don't, 11, wait, no, 13. Sorry, I rolled an 11. 11 plus 2.
And Angel.
33.
24.
Yeah, well. 20,000.
The human that's looking at you as you're describing all this looks at Angel first and nods his head approvingly. Yeah, that's right. I can tell this one's been feeling it. And he kind of drifts off as he watches Erdon and Janet Hammy, and he gets a little bit of a confused look, and he looks at his friends, and he looks at the tobacco smoking individual.
Down with the man.
We're going to cross all 4 of our arms, and we're going to look at Buddy, and Buddy's going to do the same. And we're going to try and do almost like a Charlie's Angels or like a 007, like back to back, looking all like mean and cool and stuff.
Every farmer for himself.
That's so fun. This is actually really good. I'm so happy this is happening.
Wait a minute. Every farmer for himself. What does that even have to do with it?
You know what it's. You know.
I don't want the
Janet,
government
he's just
involved.
shouting stuff at this point.
I don't want nobody touching my cord.
I want to say that at this point, Zephaniah looks physically pained, like just like like.
Down with the king.
Monolith is also like.
I'm gonna turn to
Brow
Angel and be
furrowed,
like, "Am I
confused
acting?"
as well.
Brow furrowed is very much exactly the mood. Like just like, what the hell are you? Like trying to like being like what are you? Shut up, please.
I turned to Zach.
From behind a stack of the barrels, you hear somebody say, "What's this shit about farmers?" Because Janet Tammy may not know this, but this town is pretty well divided between sailors and farmers. There's almost a civil war taking place in this town between the sailors and the farmers.
Didn't we go over that part? Weren't you there for
I
that?
thought we'd covered that.
No, we definitely did.
We
We 100% did.
There's a rivalry between the farmers and the fishermen. Isn't that why they split? Yeah, I remember.
That's why they have Joe's and Joe's too.
That's why there's Joe's too. Yeah, I remember the rivalry. You're
See,
declaring our allegiance to this particular faction unknowingly.
You see a large sailor walk up with 2 beefier sailors standing behind him. It looks like Popeye with 2 Blutos.
Are they taller than me?
The 2 Blutos are your height, and the sailor comes up to about your chest, and he walks up and he says, "What's this shit about farmers being so great?"
Well, I just think that everybody should get a chance to be able to do their own thing, you know? Like, I really think the king's being really unfair with everything, and, you know, everybody in town should get along and be able to, you know, live their own life and, you know, do their own thing without having the, you know, government get involved with it. Everybody should be able to do their own thing.
Perception?
Perception?
I mean, no, persuasion. I'm sorry.
I got 17 plus 3. 20. 30, 20.
20.
By golly, I think that's some of the smartest talking I've heard in a while. Come on over here. This little sailor puts his arm around you and walks you over behind the stack of barrels. And as you get over there, you see that there's about 15 chairs that are all set out. They're from different places. It's not like somebody went to a caterer's and got matching chairs. There's some boxes. There's a few that are nailed together that look like a bench to hold a couple people. And all of them are facing this makeshift podium where there's nobody standing yet, but there's a small candle burning. And only like 3 or 4 people are seated and waiting so far. And with the 9 of you and Wolf,
Jesus.
Who is a
joining
dog?
everybody else, you fill up a lot of the remaining seats. And when I say the 9 of you, I'm including the 4 people that passed you out on the walkway and walked in before you into the warehouse.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just let's paint the rest of this picture and make sure we're all together. You walked from the front door all the way across the length of the warehouse in front of barrels and boxes, spoke to somebody at the far end with a cigarette, and then walked around behind those same boxes and barrels. There's a whole area behind there that's hidden from the front walkway.
And
So
and the
people walking in
group of 3 sailors who just spoke to us, that was different than the other group of hooded figures who were speaking to the man smoking.
Right. This is a whole different group. They were already seated at this area waiting for the speaker to come out.
I would like to walk over to the man smoking. Is he
He's
still
already-
speaking to the small group? Or
No, he and the small group, we've all entered together.
Okay.
Everybody is now standing or seated inside in this area. If you're trying to picture it, on your right-hand side, there are stacks of barrels and boxes. It looks like the giant room at the end of Indiana Jones. And on the other side of you is the wall of the warehouse. So planks of wood that go up about 12 feet and meet a roof of other planks that go off at an angle and form the roof above your heads, the ceiling and the roof above your heads.
Well, this is really exciting. I've never been to a meeting like this before.
I've been to a couple of these back alley type meetings. Never as fun as they seem.
I've definitely been to a handful, but this one, they got way more chairs than most of the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, there's always so much
Lots of
standing. So much standing. I hate it.
I don't understand. So I really appreciate these guys.
Woodspin.
You would think
It's
that a bunch of
pleasure
thieves would
meet
be
all
able
of
to
you.
afford a chair. Oh,
These are my
Let me steal
friends.
You get some nods, Janet Tammy. Your sailor friend who's standing right next to you says, Janet Tammy, you say, is it?
Yeah, Jan Tammy Woodspin.
Woodspin. Well, you know, I normally don't hang out with farmers, but you got a way about you, Janet Tammy. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Paul.
It's very nice to meet you, Paul.
I've been sailing around the world for so long, I can hardly remember the last time I met somebody who made such a convincing argument as you.
Well, I just believe that, as long as everybody's able to do what they want and live a happy life and isn't hurting anybody else, then, the government should stay out of it. Because, chill out. But that's just what my mama said.
is Janet Tammy a libertarian?
I was just gonna say.
Thread
Janet
closed
Tammy's
after
a
6,000 pages of
libertarian.
discussion.
That's what you're saying.
Wow.
Is that what you want in the
Janet
Campfire
Tammy
Quest
doesn't believe
canon?
in-
Is Janet Tammy
Janet
the
Tammy's a
cowgirl
libertarian.
Libertarian?
It's all
Not
she
a
was ever
cowgirl.
taught.
That's so funny.
It's what her mama taught her. She has to relearn.
That's funny.
Well, Janet Tammy, I want you to meet my friends here. This one is Thug.
Nice to meet you, Thug.
This one is Thug 2.
Thug and Thug 2.
Yep, and I don't know.
That sound like stage
French,
names.
so I usually just say Thugs, and they come with me.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Thugs. These are my friends. This is Angel. That's Monolith.
Angel bows.
That's Zeph.
Hey.
Here's Wolf. Here's a new guy that's a part of our group. His name is Kipper and Erdon. Both of
That's a
them.
lot of heads.
Hello.
And this is our dog. Well, technically it's Zeph's dog, but his name's Wolf.
You just introduced him twice.
You definitely
It's
already
because he's the
introduced
most
Wolf.
important one.
That's a little bit hurtful of you to say.
I can't disagree with that.
Because he's a puppy.
I got nothing
I
against
hold
your
him up.
dog. I'm just more of a cat person.
Cats are cool, I guess.
Yeah, we don't take dogs out on our ships with us.
Is Janet Tammy a dog person?
Yeah.
And when she turned into a big dog that one time.
I guess that's fair. She always turns into dogs. Never tigers or anything.
Never tigers, always dogs.
Could
Let's
be
get
that
the
they didn't
meeting
have
going,
tigers on
shall
the
we?
farm.
Let's get let's get to, some good old classic acts of rebellion.
Let's get some good old fashioned anarchy.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Angel, is it? The man takes his cigarillo and draws on it really hard and stares at you while he's doing so and exhales with his stare still on you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you a fan? I'm not British anymore. I'm sorry. It's not happening today. I don't say that in character. I'm going to restart and pretend this didn't happen. Yeah, are you a fan?
A fan of treason?
Treason? That's goofy. Angel can't commit treason. It's Angel.
Isn't that literally what he's suggesting?
It is what we're all
I think that's what
suggesting.
we're doing in this meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
Oh, wait.
We're in it now.
Start our meeting, I need to make sure that I don't have any spies in our midst. And I need to look around and try to determine who seems out of place. What are you
kinda doing?
As you look around the room, I could ask you, future revolutionaries, who strikes you as out of the ordinary?
Is this
Are
a
you
test?
judging people based off of their appearance? Because I feel like that's quite inappropriate.
Janet Tammy, it's kind of
100%, Janet Tammy Woodspin. I'm not judging them based on their appearance. I'm judging them based on their behaviors.
Are you rolling an insight check?
Are you speaking a strange language?
I was hoping more people would laugh at that, but then nobody laughed.
I
at
laughed inside. And that's what's important. I laughed up here in the
I did
brain.
laugh out loud.
Oh my god! Wow,
A
that was so
little.
funny. That was so funny.
Thanks.
You're
I
so.
feel like
Really hilarious.
I feel like trying to figure out our intentions after you've already announced that you intend to train future revolutionaries is kind of a misstep on your part. I feel like you've already implicated yourself.
You definitely should lead. You should lead with the weeding out potential spies.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have let us through the
and tell
door.
everybody what you're doing.
Because now I've seen all your faces, and if we were
Surprised there wasn't
spies,
like a password or something.
Okay,
Like
Zeph,
like
But
hypothetic, I just want you to understand that if we were spies, we would now run away and we
You
would
kinda-
know all your faces and
you're kind of
report.
arguing yourself into a corner, Zeph. You're really not making it.
No, I just want to understand that if we're going to be involved with this, I want people to do it the right way.
Do you think that
I guess that's fair, but
when we isolate spies, that we just send them on their way politely?
the
Do you think that I would leave politely?
Do you think that you would leave?
I'm pretty confident.
oh, I like this guy. This guy's really cool.
that was a really cool thing to say. I won't lie. That was a
Come on, he pitched it to me underhand. I felt like he was doing me a favor there. She,
The
pretty one with the scars.
all right. Your flattery's not going to get you anywhere.
We'll see.
So what's your point?
Are we gonna?
I guess the point is we'll go ahead and get this meeting started. Everybody have a seat. And
I'm already sitting.
You see him take a seat as well. He apparently is not the one that's going to be speaking. All of you are seated now, and you're facing forward towards the podium with the candle on it. And we have a total of, well, let's do a rundown. We've got all of you, including Wolf. We've got 4 people from the restaurants in the food district. We have 3 people that are from the sailing and warehouse district.
A little thug and thug too.
Yep, and we've got an individual smoking tobacco and seeming to be a bit of a bouncer, and maybe the not the best bouncer, but he's doing his best. And all of you are seated, and you're facing forward towards this. You see people talking. Obviously, it's like being in class before the teacher shows up. There's conversations, mumbling. But time does pass. The first couple minutes seem uncomfortable because you're expecting somebody to come out immediately. But after that, the minutes go by a little bit quicker because now you're not expecting anything at all. It's just that uncomfortable waiting. After about 8 or 9 minutes when you've just about given up hope and you're deciding that it might be time to get up and leave. From behind one of the barrels, you hear a scraping sound, and the barrel itself seems to move out of position. And walking from around the barrel is a gnome, about 3, maybe 3.5 feet tall, dressed entirely in a chainmail.
Nobody ever sees Barrel Gnome coming.
Barrel gnome is always a surprise.
Oh wow, were you just waiting in there?
Ooh, what was the rest of his description? I'm sorry. I bet.
It's a chainmail that's incredibly shiny. The candlelight and what little light is creeping in through a single window and some of the cracks reflect off of it in a way that indicates to you that it's not a standard chainmail. This gnome walks up to the podium, and before you hadn't seen it, but behind the podium there seems to be a small set of stairs, and the gnome climbs those stairs, and with each step there's a sound of chainmail, cha-ching, 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 and he finally gets a head and shoulders up above the podium, and you see at this point the headpiece is actually in place, and he pulls it back, and there's silver hair, an ancient gnome with silver hair pulled back in a ponytail, and looking out with blue watery eyes. You see him reach inside a vest and pull out spectacles and put them on and squint out at everybody. Oh, there's a good haul. That's a good haul. Good job. Good job. So good to see all of you. I believe we're all here for the same reason. Down with the king, am I right? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I?
Down with the king? You? Down with the king? Yes?
Down with the
Something.
king!
Yeah.
I'm with
Something
Down
like
with the
that.
man! Can I do an inside
Is
check?
there anybody here
Bless
that's
you!
not here
Bless you.
Thank
for
you.
revolution?
I was here for cooking class. Did I walk into the wrong meeting?
Yes. Cooking classes 2 warehouses down. Philosophus, do this one. Yes, he's come to the wrong meeting, it seems. She's come to the wrong, the one with scars.
That's no, it's okay. No, no, this is the right one.
Well, Philosophus, stay your hand. This one will survive a bit longer. You're here for revolution?
Zeph just wants to die, huh?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, so we're here for revolution. Can
And kamikaze,
Yeah.
sounds like.
I do an insight check on this guy?
Sure.
Let's eat the king.
What are you trying to figure out?
I just want to make sure that this guy's not like. I either want to make sure that he's not working for the king in order to weed out some sort of treason-looking people, or make sure that he's not batshit crazy. Those are the 2 things I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, we'll do one insight for both those.
That seems like a lot.
Okay. It's 10.
He could very easily be crazy, but he seems to be legitimate. Best you can tell.
Cool. Thanks.
You have to be a
Down
little
with the
bit crazy.
king!
Yes, down with the king. I like this one, the tall one up front.
I'm Janet Tammy Woodspin. It's nice to meet you. These are my friends. This is Angel. That's Monolith. This is Zeph. That's Wolf, our dog. This is Kipper and her Dawn. I'm Janet Tammy. Thank you for having us.
We're so excited, and there's some faces over here I haven't seen before, and you're some large ones. Look at you at the back. Okay. Well, Philosophus, if there's nobody else, we'll get started.
Is Philosophus the one that was smoking the tobacco?
Yes.
How do you spell Philosophus?
Yes.
However you feel.
Yes.
Phonetically.
Philisapphs.
There are no wrong answers.
Everywhere you put an F, I have a PH.
Philisapphas.
PHILIPHISIS.
I'm gonna have a stroke. Let's keep going.
It's a hard name, but he's a good worker. He's good at killing people that were trying to go to cooking class.
Wow. Have you had somebody come into here on accident thinking it was a different class?
Well, sure.
How many meetings have you had?
Oh, we try to have one every week, but it's only been for the last few years this has even been an issue. And let's be honest, I think most of you have felt the pain in the last few weeks. It's been extraordinarily different, and it's time for an upheaval like never before.
Exactly.
like to
We've
clarify-
been here for a very long time. Yes.
I'd also like to clarify that. I mean, you've killed random people coming to the cooking class. I do want to like sort of.
What are you lying for us?
Is that
Are
what
you
happened?
asking if we've silenced people who've stumbled into our secrets?
Right.
I guess that's fair.
Yes.
It makes
feel
sense
like,
to me.
I feel like you shouldn't start your meetings with time to overthrow the king if you're not sure that everybody there is attending the overthrow the king class and not the cooking class.
I think that's a wonderful. I think you're full of good ideas, Felicitas. We've talked about a suggestions box. Maybe it's time to install one. This individual seems like they could really.
Here's the thing.
lot.
Here's the thing about suggestions boxes. They get so full, you get overwhelmed, you stop checking it, and then it just feels like, why did I even put a box? Look
at that. You single-handedly gave them the idea for a suggestion box and then took it away from them all
your
in
dad.
1
You know, your
second.
dad had a suggestion box. I don't know if you knew that. No, he never checked it. Every
Well-
toothpick crook had an idea. They put it on a piece of paper and they put it in the box. Nobody ever checked it.
Are you just
I
upset
imagine a
because you
bunch of
put an
criminals.
idea in and he never read it?
Yes, Tammy, I am upset. We should have had freaking frozen
Listen,
yogurt in the
you-
break room.
You didn't have frozen yogurt in the break room? Now
No,
that's
we
something you should
didn't.
bring up personally.
If you try to give a bunch of
You should
criminals
Take
the
that
ability
one
to
straight to
suggest
HR.
ideas,
yeah, you
you're not
gotta
going to
go
get very
straight
good
to the
ideas.
people, you know?
I
Maybe get
tried.
like,
It turns out there's no HR department in a criminal organization.
there's
They
no HR.
They just stab you if you complain too much.
No.
And that's it. They
Did
just
you get
stab you.
stabbed?
I mean, I've been stabbed a couple times. Yes.
I don't think the
Froyo?
staff really complained about anything.
Not about Froyo. No, just like like I've been. I mean, I feel like you've also been stabbed quite a few times, actually.
I mean, only a couple. And there was that one time that I accidentally fell on a rake back at the farm, but that was my own fault.
You fell on a rake?
Yeah, I went straight through my stomach, but I was okay.
We're kind of getting off topic here. Are we overthrowing a king or what?
Oh, right. Sorry about that, Mister.
Casual.
No, man.
Went straight through my fucking stomach, but it was fine.
I
No
just
big
fell on a
deal.
rake and it tore up my lower intestines.
It's okay.
I mean, there's a lot of lower intestine. You don't need all of it. There's like so much of that shit.
You got at least 10 organs.
You got
and
like
only need
so.
a few
There's
of
like there's like 100 feet of that shit. Just fucking pull some out.
them.
Ew.
Make it a little bit shorter. I feel like you make it more efficient.
Stop. Quit it.
So what do you know about the king? I'm real curious.
Well, we've got some plans to make for overthrowing them, but obviously a group this small can't do it alone. But part of our orientation today is letting you know that you're not alone. I don't believe I've introduced myself yet.
You haven't.
I haven't. But my name is Simin Nabor.
It's what?
Nabor. I don't know if you've heard of my sister. She's kind of famous. She's the
What's your sister's name?
Queen Do Nabor. She's kind of famous in these parts. If you want an autograph from her, I could maybe arrange it.
I hear she's pretty cool, actually. I've never heard that before.
I don't know
Wait,
if I've
like
ever heard
the-
of her. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. Not as famous as me, though. Right. Surely.
Well, I had never heard of you or this queen before meeting you, so
Wasn't
I'm
it
not
like
sure
the
how much
saucy?
fame each of you have.
The revolution saucy? Just like at that restaurant. What was it again, Angel? The sauce. It was
The
like
boys Spicy Justice.
that's the one. Is that your sauce?
Well, Yes, it's kind of a code so people know that Queen Nabor is here to deal out her spicy justice. I was pretty proud of that myself.
So the famous queen herself was involved with this? Under the table or what?
Well, no, she's fighting. She's the leader of this entire underground operation. There's a rather large history I can share with you, but first, I think I need to bring out our leader, the one who's going to be the one who you'll answer to directly. He's been working with us a long time.
Oh, we're gonna have a boss.
Long before I had these fancy threads. You'll just refer to him as the Duke.
The Duke?
As he says that, out of the barrel door emerges a hunched over half elf who stands up to his full height, and you see what looks like a very handsome half elf who's wearing very, very fine clothes, and underneath it some hidden armor pieces, a chainmail shirt that doesn't show necessarily unless you know what to look for, and a few other pieces that are hidden. He steps out and is instantly somebody that you think of as comfortable in the city or on a battlefield. He just has that look about him. And as the Duke steps up to the podium and looks out at all of you, he says, "It's good to see a lot of strong faces here, and it's good to know that with your help, we'll get a step closer to freeing these people from the king and whatever else seems to be enslaving them."
Is he buff?
Yeah, he looks pretty strong.
So he's
And,
like buff and hot?
yeah, we're going to talk more
Wow.
about him as soon as we get back from our break. Last
And
we
he's
left, you were in a
musical.
darkened warehouse seated in front of now two individuals. One who stepped down from a podium is incredibly shiny. Erdan may even suspect mithril as the metal it's made from. The especially shiny chainmail. That individual has stepped out of the way and is still peering around through his goggles. But behind the podium, staring out at everybody, is a very well put together half elf. And as he looks around and introduces himself, he's making eye contact with everybody. And he stops for a moment on Zephaniah.
That's
and,
me.
lets his eyes linger for a minute, and then breaks eye contact and begins to talk once again. As a new group of people that are here, hopefully to help their fellow citizens get out from underneath the yoke of the tyrannical king, we would like to let's see, offer you an opportunity to join by joining us on a little mission. It's not terribly dangerous, and it's meant to help others, but there is, of course, danger, and completing the mission is going to put you at odds with the laws of this land, at least. It'll prove that you're on our side, but that's not necessarily what you want to prove to the king and his soldiers. If you're willing to undertake this, I'm happy to move forward. And if not, it's not too late for you to leave. I'm just kidding. We'd have to kill you. So let's talk about what exactly it is that you're going to be working on. We have it on good authority that a group of individuals from Pinion's Pleasure Pit have been sent out of the city, and if they're still alive, they're slated to be executed soon. Our mission is to save these individuals, set them free, get them to safety, and then to return to Pinion's Pleasure Pit and determine what we can do next to make sure this doesn't happen again.
So, like, spies got captured?
No, these were simple citizens, people that lived in the city and worked at Pinion's. and it seems that the pit, as we call it, has been taken over, and a lot of the people that called that their place of work and
What do you mean
their
taken
homes.
over? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a place of business, and it's fortified, and it seems that the business has been ejected, and some other nefarious individuals, with the king's help, have moved in and taken over, and a lot of the workers were kicked out. And it seems, and this is not entirely uncovered yet, but it seems as if the people that took over the pit are trying to silence those that might have any idea about who they are. So we're trying to rescue a group of what we believe to be 8 individuals that worked as simple servants and food preparers in the pit.
I have a couple of questions for you, actually.
Bet you do with your keen eye. What could I help you with?
The king. By all accounts, he was a pretty average what you'd expect for a monarchy, right? I mean, he was a decent guy for a long time, well liked enough, until someone recently. Do you have any idea for why his demeanor might have changed so drastically?
Well, yes.
And
Oh. Has the king done any public appearances recently?
Over the last year, specifically, we've begun to have problems. I would say a year ago, maybe a little more, he was a beloved monarch and had been for 5 years, ever since his father passed. It was a very calm time here. Farmers and sailors got along. Everybody was, enjoying the plenty, and there was plenty. In the last year, though, our king had begun to make some draconian changes, a lot of things that don't sit well with the people, especially those who his new rules impact. Business owners and people that make their money and living with their hands are often getting the short end of the stick with a lot of these new rules. In the last few weeks, it's gotten even worse, and it's in the last few weeks that we suspect that the pit was taken over. At first, subtly, and then about 4 days ago, completely. And it's in these last 4 days that we've been finding more and more of our citizens killed, even still wearing their Pinion's Pleasure Pit uniforms.
just killed outright?
Throats slit, run through with swords, some of them.
Wow.
And you have no idea other than that new management, you could say, has moved into the pit. That's the only reason that this is happening.
Oh, the only reason?
As in, they didn't do anything wrong. They were just killed because some new people moved in, right?
Well, we don't have all the information.
Right.
They may have resisted. Maybe they were supposed to be conscripted, and these are the ones that resisted.
Okay.
We're hoping so, because that would mean that some of them survived.
Right.
If it was a mass execution, we may have lost 40 citizens.
And again, we circle back to this question: why do you think this is happening? What do you think happened to the king, who, by all accounts, as you said, I mean, he was a pretty good ruler back then.
Well, it's been suspected for most of the year that he's made some foreign connections, and there are some outside forces that are influencing him. And it's only in the last 2 weeks that there have been rumors of I don't want to seem foolish for saying this, but a many-faced enemy.
Can Can
I'm
I
sorry.
whisper
One
to
of our
Zeph real
PAs was making a lot of noise with her ice in her cup.
quick?
She needs her ice.
She needs some milk.
She needs some milk.
Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. It's fine. It's
Thank you
cool.
so much. Thank you so much. You know what? I appreciate your camaraderie and your patience. And
I just wanted to let you know that Vine has died. I'm so sorry.
What?
I hate to be the one who breaks it to you, Cam, but Vine is gone.
Hey, me and Kayla have had this discussion at length, but TikTok will never be what Vine was, right? Like, we agree.
This will be another
I don't know.
hour-long argument.
Grant, your thoughts?
Is the Duke
I think
wearing
it can
any
be.
rings?
Yes. Yeah.
Who did that?
What?
I look away for like 5 seconds on cleaning my glasses and
whisper to
putting it
Zeph.
away, and I just hear
I want to whisper to
gurgle.
Zeph.
Gurgle, gurgle.
I want to whisper.
You want to whisper to me? Oh, you go
Zeph.
ahead, I guess. Yeah.
Jason, do I have to roll for whispering or anything?
It depends on if you're trying to not be heard.
I am.
You are trying to be heard?
I'm trying not to be heard.
Okay.
While the Duke is talking directly to him, making eye contact. Because the Duke is speaking directly to.
Just talk to me. I don't care if they hear what you have to say. Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
metagaming,
do this
actually. I don't know that you're
thing.
trying to
I'm
do
gonna do the
Is he
anything.
wearing a ring,
No.
the Duke?
Roll for perception.
Yeah, I'll whisper to Zeph real quick. I'll just go like,
Okay.
hey, should we just tell them about the rings and about the beholder and stuff like? Should we just tell them? Should we just give them that information?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, I'm
I'm just waiting to see what he has to say first, because it seems like they really have no idea.
Right. Okay.
I'm not making any effort to conceal what I'm saying, by the way.
You're just talking.
I'm just
regular
speaking. I'm
volume
speaking.
wide, like,
I'm speaking normally to you.
The Duke finishes the sentence that got interrupted when the PA was getting ice, and says that there was. So sorry. I'm trying to think of who I can blame this time.
Seamus. You can blame my cat.
The Duke. There's a thing. There it is. Thank you. The Duke finishes the sentence and says that there's, and he asks you to forgive him because this sounds odd, but a many-faced necromancer that has the king's ear. Someone who seems to be able to take on a number of different faces and almost seems to feed on people's sorrows.
We've encountered this individual you speak of.
Already? How long have you been in town?
Like maybe 10, 20, 30. Wait, a day.
It's been a day, yeah. It's been a day.
It's been a day. What are you trying to say?
It's been one hell of a day, if we're being honest, but it's been a day.
Quickly, where did you see this individual?
Well,
You didn't suspect-
before we sort of share any information we have, we want you to understand that there are forces at work here outside of your understanding. We are what you could consider
but yeah,
outside players. We didn't come here to save your city, and we didn't come here to.
but we will, like that's
yeah. I mean, we don't mind helping. I mean, now that
the
we're here.
byproduct. Our
Guys, are
goal
we like a group?
coincides with your goal, so it's all good. Zeph is just saying it
I look at
very poorly.
Tammy and I nod. I'm like, we're like a group. We're like
We have do we need a name or something?
we're like a faction.
I don't think we need it. I don't think we need a name enough.
I think
We do.
we should figure be
I
able
like
to
a
figure
name.
that out.
But maybe that's for later, not for right now.
Are-
Anyway, Monolith, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Are you a group of people trying to name yourselves in the middle of my meeting?
Yeah, let's focus on one thing at a time, guys. So we come from out of town on a quest to save our friend, And it turned out that the people that are in control of your city have our friends. So it'd be great if we could just get rid of them.
The necromancer, we believe his name is Saul.
We do know that name.
That's who has your friend? Saul has your friend?
Well, our friend is held by a
Probably
beholder.
shouldn't have just come out and said it.
I'm pretty sure
I
she
thought we
was
were supposed
talking
to come
about
out.
Sal.
Well, we were in a position of power information.
You told me that we should just tell them.
A beholder?
Well, I mean, I was getting there.
Yeah, a beholder.
There's like rings and stuff, and like mind controls involved, and like magic. And
How
also, like-
how
Mind control
involved?
rings.
How well funded is your operation? I mean, the queen herself is directly involved, right?
Well, my operation is pretty big, and I actually have some information about this beholder if we're speaking of the same one, and I can only hope that we are.
What do you have?
Well, I'm the leader of a group, a resistance group that's been fighting over this entire island. Our enemy seems to change faces, not just from one. Bianca, stop it! Just
I love
rubbing
her
up
so
against the
much.
tripod.
Aww.
He's just a baby,
Oh.
Jason.
Oh, he's gonna attack.
Don't be mean to her.
Pinky. You have to tell her I love her. Give her a pet. Yeah.
Tell her I miss her as
Give
well.
her a kiss on the
Grant misses
forehead.
you, and Parker misses you.
But I miss her more than Grant. Tell her
Parker
that.
misses you more than
I feel like
Grant.
that's only
Well, now
completely
hold on a
understood.
second. That's kind of
Kayla doesn't really care about you.
That's so mean. Why would you say that?
Kayla
I feel like
loves
I would
you
be the
more
one that
than
doesn't
I
really
anything.
just
care.
trusted Binky to know that I miss her, and she's a good cat.
She
She's a
makes my
very
nose
good cat.
stuffy. She makes me sneeze a lot.
Oh wow!
Well,
What a
That's
great
about all I gotta
comment.
say.
Bingo. Bingo. Bingo.
Take your 2 cents back, Cam.
I
We didn't
think-
want it.
All right,
Binky-
fine. I'll go back to being muted again.
Binky should meet my cat Poppy because they're both the prettiest cats in the
I'm
world.
Poppy.
Yes, that would be so
Poppy's
cute
very
if they
Sorry,
met.
forgot I wasn't muted. I just-
My cats are not pretty. I have ugly cats.
All cats are beautiful.
Me. What resistance are you a part of that's fighting
Oh,
for this
right.
country?
I can't tell you now. There's a cat on me. eBay Bianca says hi.
That's great.
eBay. Bianca says hi.
You got
Fletcher.
They are already watching the stream. You don't have to let them know.
I just
Fletcher's
wanted
here.
To make sure that
Hey,
they knew.
Fletcher's here.
Fletcher.
Hi, Fletcher. Fletcher's my cousin.
Fletcher.
Oh,
Fletcher's in Gainesville, y'all.
The
Fletcher,
little baby.
this is Bianca. Bianca makes our game
Fletcher.
come to a halt almost immediately.
Don't say bad words.
Bingo.
Yep. In just a minute, she's gonna get set down.
Look, she's. I saw the claws go in there.
Oh
Now
my
I can
goodness.
get a nipple
that's-
ring.
Jason.
Sorry.
It's already
Jason
ready
Gillette.
to go.
Jason fucking Gillette.
Sorry.
You're grounded.
I mean,
Really, it's Bianca's fault. I hardly did anything except get hurt.
I guess if you think
That's
about it,
kinda-
Jason is already grounded, isn't
I
he?
was gonna say
This is kind of the equivalent of being grounded.
everybody's grounded. The entire world is grounded right now.
The Earth was
Wait,
like, you're all
what's the
grounded.
resistance that you're a part of?
Nice try. She's coming back. Okay, I can do it.
This is a cat stream now. We talk about cats.
We are a cat cafe.
Cats
over
and
Zoom.
cat related.
I wish we were a cat cafe.
We're all just tabaxis.
I'm glad we're not.
You're a coward. You're a coward. You're just like Chicken Little.
Just
Cat
like
word.
Chicken Little.
My
Wow.
organization.
The sky is
Sorry that I'm allergic and I can't help it. Whatever.
Maybe you should be.
It's
My organization is called the Boys Who Cried Wolf.
Shut
That's a
your
library card.
mouth!
There are groups of us around this entire island continent, the whole land of Crastra, who are devoted to making sure that our cities stay safe, because we've been dealing with a creature who is trying to take over our civilized parts of the land, and
And
it's only us, only us and Queen Nabor who funds our organization. It's us that's able to keep these enemies at bay, and we've had a few small victories. I've worked with a group up in the north. We freed North Pass Port. We had a couple of other close calls that we've been fighting our way through. And the fight now brings us all the way back here to Xantia. It's so close to Cheerwood, my current home, that I'm really concerned. Well, for myself and for Do Nabor, our queen.
And you're the leader of this organization, the Boys Who Cried Wolf?
I'm currently leading it. I was taking a bit of a break, but I'm back to being the military leader, so to speak. I was on a temporary retirement in my. Well, I shouldn't. Well, no, I can tell you. You're part of the group. The city of Noobs, perhaps a city you'll get to visit one day.
I wouldn't call us part of the group. I would say we're allied, not necessarily a part of the same group.
What was the name of that city?
Noobs, Nubes. It's the city of clouds. It's also where a lot of first level players cut their teeth. But I mean,
haven't we been there before?
I don't know why, but my entire
You've not
body
been there,
shivered.
Huh. Well,
Cam. No, never mind.
City of News.
It's in that old game from literally a year ago.
The cards. Campus Cards one?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh,
that's why I got excited.
oh yeah, you've
It's
been
on my home game.
I've been
played
there. Yeah!
Now you feel what I feel.
Now I feel what you feel. It's all connected. Dirk Gently would be so proud.
Dirk Gently would be so proud. Jason Gillette, the fact that you haven't watched a single thing that I've recommended to you this whole quarantine is so frustrating.
I
Bitch.
watched all of Community.
Okay, I didn't recommend that to you.
Was it good?
Kayla did, and she's sitting right next to you.
Here's my, all right, my next recommendation is Dirk Gently and then Midnight Gospel. But I
Oh, that's a
recommend
good
that
one.
to everyone.
Midnight Gospel's really good.
That one's quick. You can do that one. And you shouldn't. It's really heavy.
It is.
But you could.
I suggest Violet Evergarden.
I couldn't get into it. It felt like an anime you're supposed to binge watch, but nothing happens.
Conversation.
I 100% disagree with that statement completely.
I'll be right back while you talk about
Anime?
anime.
I feel like Violet Evergarden is
Violet
like my
Evergarden?
favorite anime that I've ever seen.
Wow.
Is it Slice of Life?
No, it's not slice of life.
No.
Do you not like Slice of Life?
Me?
Oh,
No, they're pretty boring.
Grant.
Oh,
I like Slice of Life.
It's okay.
I'm a fantasy guy. I like fantasy, sci-fi, action.
I really
adventure.
like cute
I can't
ones, and I like the ones where it's like all of the friends
Oh.
doing like school stuff. I just
Oh,
like weird stuff
the
like
one-
that.
Okay.
How have
There's
you never
one slice
watched
of life.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's where high school
I was
is?
reading Comey, the Comey one. The one
Oh,
with Comey.
Komi-san can't something.
Yeah,
It's pretty cute. I like
Yeah.
it. It's a good manga.
that one's very wholesome.
It is very wholesome. It's very sweet.
Except that you have to read it. There's no anime.
Well, I mean,
Hey, it's Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa knows what she's talking
Oh,
about.
Well, like I told
What'd she say?
Kayla, I
can't
definitely
see.
read Dirk Gently when it was.
I know you read Dirk Gently. It's
You
different.
have to watch. It's different. I don't think the show is the book. I'm not sure, but I'm
You
definitely.
guys,
It's not. I was just bragging.
why is everyone getting bullied today?
It's not about bullying. It's about Jason
Bully
listening to me.
Central.
He hasn't even listened to the first thing I recommended at the beginning of quarantine, which is The guy who doesn't like
You know
musicals.
what's really funny about these recommendations? They're all my recommendations to you.
I know. Yuri on
That's
Ice
so
is
good.
really good. It was one of my favorite animes.
What is-
Yuri on Ice is my
Kayla the
favorite.
influencer.
Yuri
I'm
on
just
Ice is
saying,
amazing.
I have the best taste and not basic bitch taste. Like some people might think I have.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You
Basic
do have
bitch
good
You
taste.
have some taste that include basic bitch things.
I have taste.
Hold on. I will agree that you have good taste, but you cannot say that you don't have some basic bitch taste.
You literally watched Glee recently. Shut up.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
And
Sorry to out you,
H2O and
I'm just
Victoria.
well
That
read.
is that is
I'm
rough.
just
That
well
is- that is a-
Red.
I'm
That's
well
a very
watched.
damning thing to
There's
have.
very
brought
little
up.
reading in all of that.
I have subtitles. I listen. Okay. I
don't know
can't
if that
help
counts,
that
but
I
all right.
have made it my life mission to consume as much media as possible.
But why are you choosing that media?
Why
Because just
H2O?
because
I mean-
something's popular doesn't mean it's bad.
I mean, Glee is, I feel like
Glee is good in its own way. Glee is good in a way of like
It's bad.
It's
good in
bad.
it.
I'm not willing to give you Glee.
It's like the
I'm
good
sorry.
bad or the bad good.
here's the thing: if Glee
It's like so
stopped
bad
after
it's good.
like
You could
Yeah.
tell me that you like Glee, sure. It's not good though.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's good. I'm saying it was a good. Well, I guess I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's good. Wow, that made no sense. But hear me out. It's not. Is it?
Okay.
Game of Thrones? Is it Westworld? Is it
Wait, Game of
whatever?
Thrones is
Mr.
also
Robot? No, it's not. But what
Well,
it
Game of
is
Thrones is
is
robot.
a good, efficient high school musical comedy that is self-aware on what it is and a little problematic, but pretty problematic, but progressive for its time.
All right, you want to watch Glee with me?
No, I'm not strong enough to go through it a third time in my life.
That's fair. I
I
feel like
have-
that's a show that most people wouldn't want to watch once.
You get 2 Glee passes, and I burned both of them in my lifetime, and I don't
God,
I'm not-
you couldn't have
I am-
waited.
line. I will totally watch Glee. You know what kind of garbage.
I would just ditto Welsh Troll and say that I've got to get through Mr. Robot. I've seen season
Yes.
1 and 2. I need to rewatch and then blow through
Oh.
what's new. I
Yes.
have a lot just waiting for me, and I'm pretty excited.
You know what we should
My-
do?
My hope is that their little fake websites and stuff that go with the show are still up and running, so I get the full experience.
I don't know that they are. I
We
don't know
should
if they
go
are or
through
not.
every segment which we get off topic for
wanna
longer
see
than
Mr.
5
Robot.
minutes.
Can I
and then
make
make a
another point though?
podcast.
Because I'm thinking
Oh my
about
god,
it.
yes, Parker, that's a great idea.
I'm sorry, real quick. You can't compare Glee to other TV shows as well because it's totally different. What you can compare is like
No,
Riverdale
it's
and
really
Glee.
not.
Like, if
it's
you
really
put-
not incredibly
Let
different.
me finish.
It's a totally
If you-
different level of bad.
Let me finish. Here's the thing.
Okay.
All these other great TV shows are not in the same category as Glee's in. But if we took something else
Right.
like Riverdale, which is pretty much in the same category as Glee, Glee is so much better in its like category than Riverdale.
No, they're both pretty bad.
Comparing like a
But they're,
dumpster
like,
fire to a
different.
regular
No,
garbage can. is-
Riverdale's pretty bad.
No, Riverdale's writing is straight
yeah,
up
exactly.
bad. Glee's writing was
Like
They're
Riverdale and the
terrible.
dumpster fire.
Their comedy is pretty fucking funny.
Glee is funny. You have to give it that. You can't. I'm sorry.
We're changing our show now to
I'm really
a
sorry.
a review show.
The title of the episode is Kayla rants about Glee being not good, but
I
something.
just-
Next week we're gonna talk about the difference between Finn and Puck and how they both suck. So tune in. See you guys next week.
I think on Wednesdays we should get together and do all the D&D we didn't play.
Yeah.
We would never have time. We would never have enough time in the world to do that.
I
No.
can't. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It was.
Oh, you were such a small part of the equation.
Yeah,
It
no.
didn't start with you.
It's
You know,
just.
you know how many times I throw Jason off his rhythm an episode? Like 10, 20.
I just feel very passionately about Glee. Okay, and I think people shit on it too often.
No, that's fair.
Season 1, God tier. Season 2, all right, and it just keeps going down from there. You know.
Well, hold on. Let's focus on the important thing. Tristan just said that I've got rhythm. I don't want to brag or anything, but I got kind of a rhythm.
You guys know that Phineas and Ferb song? I ain't got rhythm.
I ain't got rhythm.
Got rhythm.
It's like the
But
John Mulaney bit.
Yeah. I ain't-
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
Finally watched that special last night.
It was good.
That's good.
And we're
Anyways.
back. That's right.
Hey,
everybody.
welcome back to
We
D&D.
have a lot of things that give us some indications that the king has been in league with some other folks, and apparently they're taking advantage of all of us workers, all of the workers here in this town. And there's a lot of muscle to be taken advantage of, and we're concerned that an evil force has moved in, and we thought the king was bad enough, but the king with these new friends is hard to deal with. So here's the mission, team. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Prisoner's Hope lighthouse. It's the one that you see just to the east when you're standing at where your airship is moored.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know all that?
Airship owners?
Have you had eyes on us?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, we don't pay much attention to the goings on in this city. Yes, you landed a giant airship in our city, which you flew directly across the middle, and then took the single pad that we have available for airships. You were noticed. From there, are you familiar with that giant lighthouse about a mile in the distance?
Wait. I feel like there's a couple more questions I have to ask you before we agree to any mission. So this enemy that you fought, what do you know about him?
Which enemy?
The one who's a great threat to all the cities that exist within the island of Crastra.
Well, the name has changed. Not too long ago, Queen Evil was our number one threat.
Her name was Queen Evil.
Yes, believe
Like
it or not.
Queen-
Wait, are you joking? Are you joking that was really?
That name is so on the nose.
I know.
Why didn't you guys just attack her the moment she said a name?
Well, the way she said it didn't sound so much like the word, so it kind of fooled us for a while. And then all
Also,
How'd she say it?
generally speaking, attacking people is illegal, Monolith, I think.
Especially queens.
Yeah, but someone with the name Evil, come on.
Well, technically, her name is not
Evil.
evil.
The evil
It's
queen.
Queen Evil.
Right, but like, come on.
It's different.
It's a little bit different.
All right, oh my goodness.
normally
Whatever.
we have a series of people that we have to deal with. It's never quite the same person. It's almost like there's somebody behind the scenes pulling strings and sending more and more enemies towards us. We feel like the king here is going through the same process. A reasonable individual that was slowly influenced until they were no longer who they were.
So you don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. So you don't know what the cause is.
Do you?
Yes.
You
What's the
don't?
cause?
Have you ever heard of a creature called a beholder?
Yes, this
We already
the
mentioned
stony
that.
fellow over here mentioned him a little earlier, but I assumed you were joking.
No.
Stony.
Yeah, well, you look like a rock.
I do not look like a rock.
Monolith, we know you're not a rock, but you have to at least admit that you look like a rock.
Your skin has
I
a kind
look
of
a little
grayish
bit.
hue.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
I don't know. Did I cut out or something?
No.
No.
No. Okay. I don't know. My cat scared me, and then everyone went silent. So I was like, "Did I cut out?"
Did you have any more information about this beholder you're mentioning?
Yes, we fought it.
Yeah.
It was really scary. We almost died. It was kind of interesting. Maybe only a little bit cool.
Did you know
Was it
anything
a
about what's happening
pleasure
at Crest
pit?
Draken?
Oh no, we were nowhere near Opinion's pleasure bear. We were at Krastraken when it attacked us.
I mean,
Or
you guys say you
rather,
keep
when we found it.
you keep an eye on the threats to the island, but did you notice Christ Racket?
We didn't have too many people down there. We didn't have operatives. We were taking care of the eastern side of the land for the most part. East Passport, North and South Passport.
Well, to know the
We're
severity of
different,
it, the king was assassinated, and the person who controls the underground that controlled most of the city was also killed, and they tried to install their own leader there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's the largest city here. That's the largest number of people. I don't even know what we'd do if they were able to control that number of people.
I don't mean to tell you how to do your job, but you guys maybe slacking a little bit.
I mean, we took care of it, so it's no big deal.
Wow.
You killed the beholder? That's amazing.
No, we didn't. I mean, we took care of Krastrack, and we took the person.
We uncovered the plot. We reestablished control.
You know?
Yeah. And we
Monolith
did fight the
is the king.
Well,
good job,
No,
Monolith.
we haven't actually reestablished control yet because I have to go back.
Please don't talk about that. Please, I beg you both.
Yeah, well, that's another time.
But we fought the beholder personally, all of us.
And you killed it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We ran away because it was really scary.
Have you heard
We
the
fled.
legends of the beholders? It seems almost impossible to kill one.
It's like one giant eyeball with a bunch of different eyeballs off of it, and each eyeball shoots out different
And they
magical
shoot
beams that
like
hurt
light.
you. It's
Yeah.
painful and scary.
That
And
sounds-
sometimes they turn you into dust.
That sounds terrifying.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty
what
horrific.
I'm saying.
Here's something important you need to understand. This creature, the people that it has under its control, it's not persuading them with money or promises of power. It's literally has them under its control. It
There are
mind
rings.
controls them with rings.
Oh, we should show it to them.
I
Have you
gotta
seen
tell
it?
you,
Have you? What?
Donabor,
Didn't
at one of our last meetings, indicated that this was something that she'd heard, that there was she'd mentioned the word beholder, and she'd mentioned the words mind control rings, information she got from some other operatives, but we didn't give it a lot of weight. We weren't really even sure what to do with that information. It seemed overwhelming.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other, huh?
Didn't Jen and Tammy ask for a perception check to see if somebody was wearing a ring or something like that?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
we
I
ever
wanted to know if the Duke or anybody was wearing a ring.
Yeah, she rolled a 4.
I rolled a 4.
Oh, okay.
I remember now.
Oh, I missed that.
But I'll say that we're not talking about a hidden ring. Everybody here who has just passive perception, just glancing around, would be able to see whether or not there was a ring. And the kind of ring you're looking for is not on either of the hands of the individuals at the front of the room, nor, well, really anybody in the room. I feel like it's the kind of thing that would have pinged if you'd seen it.
Do they work as toe rings as well, and we're just not seeing it?
That's
That's a big roll for
Oh
intelligence.
no!
That's actually
You got
really
it.
funny. Wow.
I do want to say that you might
Like
be a genius.
That is
We come across someone and we're like, oh, they don't have
Hey,
a ring, so they're not being
not to be weird, but can I see your feet, please? I
That is a
promise it's not
24.
weird. Like, is that going to be
I'll
our
pay you.
question?
I'll pay you.
I'll pay you to see your feet, but it's like normal.
I swear.
It's totally normal.
That's no problem. That's how
Do you
I got
happen
to
to have a
college.
website I could go to pay you? I'll be your only fan. I'll be your only
I
fan.
actually hate that so much. I hate this.
24.
Oh,
You get the impression that these have to be worn on the fingers, on
Okay.
hands.
Damn. All right.
Oh.
Sorry,
That
this is not a feat
that's
stream
kinda-
like I
that's
thought it was
better.
going to be.
Yeah, we don't want to attract the wrong kinds of people.
Yeah, no.
Wait, did you say attract people? I mean, yeah, it works on hands, feet, or any other appendage.
Jason Gillette.
Really?
Jason Gillette.
I immediately
No!
I cast thaumaturgy and knock off everybody's socks and shoes and just stare at their
I'm gonna
Wait
have to.
a minute.
I'm gonna have to
literally-
Puts
go.
your
I'm
feet
sorry.
in the air, and it's a foot party.
This is my father.
What?
I
We
cast.
may have 4 arms, but we only have 2.
I cast fetishism, and now everybody likes feet. We're all just taking our shoes
Grant,
off.
Grant,
Hey guys.
Grant.
Hey guys. Me and Campfire Quest have a good run. We had a good run. It's over now. Thanks for the support.
Everybody in chat's like, "Oh, please talk about anime again, dear God."
Zoe, this is your chance
Listen.
to talk before we go any further.
Violet Evergarden, best anime. I'm telling you right now. Besides Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is good. Hunter x Hunter is probably also the best.
I don't know. Oron High School Host Club is the best anime in the entire
know.
world. So
Kikagare.
The Midnight
disagree.
Gospel is my
too.
favorite
An
anime.
anime like One Punch Man out there.
I haven't gotten into One Punch Man yet. I'm
I don't.
It's
think
on my
that's
This
list.
gonna go
conversation has
Mob Psycho 100 is better than One Punch Man.
You think so?
Psycho 100
I know
is
so.
so good.
Oh, look,
Okay.
look. It's
I'll look
the
into that.
Duke, and he's
Guys,
asking you a
long.
question.
We have places.
Oh, sorry.
We're off track.
Guard 1, do you have any more questions for me, or should we go save
Agatha does
these
have a-
workers?
do you
How
have
tall
the
is
anime?
he? Yeah,
let's go
You would
save
I say
these
let's go save the
workers.
How tall is he?
Duke's about 5'11".
Oh, never mind.
Hey, we're saving. Never mind. It's just Mayday, and we're saving workers. That's all. Woo! Let's go.
Yep. Good catch. If you're up for it, we're going to send you guys not as one large group, but it looks like you came in groups by yourselves. We're going to send 3 different teams. Each of you has the job of going and freeing these workers. If you want to team up once you're there, that's completely up to you. But we don't suggest that you travel together in such a large group. You've got about a mile of travel to get to the lighthouse. And if they're even still alive, our belief is that they're being held at the top of the lighthouse. Our fear
Okay.
is that they're going to be executed by being thrown off the top.
That's scary.
We're hoping you can get there.
That's a pretty
before
terrible
that
way to
happens.
die.
Yeah, we don't
Just
like the
like
thought of
me.
that at all. A couple of our higher ranking individuals, volunteers, have family members that are missing, and they're hopeful that you're bringing them home.
Okay,
So,
so
do you have any other questions?
how big
or
are the groups?
Can you exit and go? I
I
want
was
to
going to ask
give you any
how big are the
information
groups?
you need.
Like, do we travel in packs of 2 or 3? 1?
It looks like you came in parties already. Group
So
of
we're-
sailors together
Oh.
and a group of people from the food district, and it looks like you airship folk.
Hmm.
So you can travel together in groups. You can
Okay,
break
so
up
you just
into
need
So you
all-
small
want us to
all
be
of us groups
you want
at
us to
once, but I
as a
will-
bunch of unorganized groups with no coordinated plan just happen to wander up to this tower separately?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Great.
sure that's what I'm understanding too.
I want you
I
to
think-
figure it out without me having to hold your hand.
I can't wait for us to be halfway
Oh,
through
I
sneaking
like
through this, and then the group of sailors walks in and ruins everything.
How
Well-
would you prevent that from
Oh,
happening?
Sailors.
Well, there's one easy way. We'll just go.
Let's not be too hasty. How about we go first, and then everyone can show up after us?
I don't know if I feel comfortable putting a bunch of normal people in the line of fire like that.
They volunteered. This is a rebellion. They're trying to save their family and stuff.
I guess, but
I don't really see why it's up to you guys anyway. Brute Tooth,
Yeah,
let's roll. Popeye and his two large thugs behind him exit from where you're standing, walk around the barrel point where you first met the tobacco smoker, and then they walk the rest of the way across the long house to the exit and leave.
Okay, but wait, now we
all right,
haven't.
let's go, guys. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess we're just storming.
We don't
this
want to be
place.
last.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm surprised that Janet Tammy, who was chastised us for the past 3 weeks, you don't want to have a plan?
Well, I mean, I'm telling me that,
I know, but we should try to at least have like a plan a little bit.
I don't know. I was just kind of going along with you.
Okay. Well,
I think the plan is let's not be the last ones to the tower.
I think we're past the point of plans, and let's just go kill some people, I guess. Sounds good to me.
That works for me.
Hey, we have a flying carpet?
No.
Okay.
We do.
Where did that come from?
Yes, Monolith has one. He took one from the palace.
Oh.
Your dad's house.
Yeah.
Remember?
I did.
Yeah,
you did.
You were. I don't know if you took it, but you were fucking with it that one night.
Oh.
If you forgot to take it, you forgot to take it. But you did have one.
I don't think I forgot to take it. I did have one,
Forgot
and I
that you
used
had
it,
it.
but I do not believe that I brought it onto the airship because the whole attacking the beholder thing happened.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was kind of a crazy sort of.
You had an opportunity to have a flying carpet, and you just I forgot.
We
I
just
didn't know that I was
somehow all
going on an
forgot.
adventure across the country.
Grant, I'm literally, you can
Listen
see
here,
it right now.
it's not my
I'm
fault that Casey
shaking
got
my head.
kidnapped, okay?
I am shaking my
Is it
head.
SMH?
Oh, I'm shaking my head at Casey.
SMH, all cap, all
Honestly,
cap.
I get
Listen,
the campaigns mixed up
I'm gonna-
so much. It's not even like funny at this point. Like I don't even know what character is which anymore.
Just
That's
wait until
really
Casey actually comes back, if she ever does. Then I'll be
Hey
doing
guys, it's
3
me.
voices.
I'm from Camp H. Wait a minute. Wait, I'm
Wait.
from
Lucky, right?
Hey there. No, that's me. I'm Lucky. I'm Lucky. I
Wait,
got
that's
guns.
Orkman's orphanage. Wait a second.
Yeah, I got guns with me.
Hey, what's going on? It's Chad.
Aren't you?
Wait, hold on a
Back.
second.
Hey, who are you?
Huh.
I actually don't remember what Luck's voice was.
It's
at all.
Southern. You're a cowboy.
Was it Southern? Yeah,
it
it's
was more
me.
Southern.
I'm Luck. Nice to meet y'all.
All right, guys, are we going to the lighthouse or what?
The workers from the food district put their cloaks up over their heads, the two that had theirs pulled down, and they all slip into the shadows and disappear, leaving just the
Into the
smell of
shadows.
saffron behind them.
You guys ready?
I guess.
Yeah.
It just seems like
Yeah.
just the lack of coordination here is stunning. That's all.
Listen, Zeph, we always harass Janet Tammy for trying to make us come up with a big plan, and now you're harassing us for not
Okay,
having a big plan.
normally I'm like, okay, at least a little bit of a plan. But what we have right now is literally like 3 or 4 uncoordinated groups
We
of
got
3 to
nothing.
5 people all randomly walking up to a tower at the same time.
Well, why don't we just, wait around the bottom and see if anything goes wrong, and if anybody falls, try and catch him.
Oh my
That's
god.
oh, but Janet
That's
Tammy.
Well,
we cannot catch
well,
them
hold
before.
on. Hold on, let's work with.
Let's-
We can. Okay, it's a starting point.
I'm
It's
past
a
it. I'm walking
starting
outside
point.
the door. Goodbye. Let's go, everybody.
It's a very
Goodbye.
bad
on.
starting point. I'm
It's a-
leaving.
I start leaving, I guess.
I don't know if this means anything
to you, Janitary, but I thought it was a good idea.
I thought you would add. I mean, I can cast Featherfall on people. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's kind of still a stupid plan, but it's.
I think it's a good idea.
If we see someone falling, you can go ahead and cast it on them.
Okay.
I just think, Zeph's
But-
right. I mean, we've already got a couple of people going up. I feel like it's just going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Angel has the best plan right now.
So we get to the tower. Angel, you stay at the bottom and wait for someone to fall. Is that the plan?
I'm thinking a bunch of us wait at the bottom, trying to figure out maybe a couple of other ways to look into it.
If we
Well,
can stop
wouldn't-
people from falling, that'd be
Hold
great.
on. hold on. What is our goal right now? Is it to save the workers or is it to kill the people who are trying to kill the workers? Okay, then why don't we hide at the bottom?
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Well,
We can kill the bad guys.
Okay,
and save the
well,
workers.
yeah, all right. Well, okay, that's what I'm asking. Is that also our goal or is it like not a goal?
No, we want to rescue the workers. That's primary objective.
Okay.
Killing the people
then,
helps us get there.
Or, okay, we do just wait at the bottom, don't cause a scene, and I can, well, they might be able to see us.
Okay, the two groups that left ahead of us are probably already causing a scene.
I guess I could be invisible. I could be invisible, and then I could catch them with the feather fall, and then hide.
I'm gonna go up the tower because I guarantee the two other groups are going up the tower.
Well, we can stop.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I trust them fully to.
Are we walking and talking?
Handle that.
You're walking and talking down a main thoroughfare that follows the coast and eventually bends as the city wall bends. Your city doesn't follow the coast the entire way. It eventually leads down to an intersection where you have to turn right and get to a large covered bridge that crosses the river, which is what your city is built on. Your city is built on the intersection of a river and the sea. So right there at a delta, and it's a walled city. The wall is on the opposite side of the river, and it looks like about every 50 feet there's a tower, and guards are able to walk between the towers at a height of about 20 feet from tower to tower on these ramparts. You're just about to cross the river and just about to get your first good look at this side of the city wall as you're talking. You've been talking for about 20 minutes, or you are still talking. So let me not interrupt you as you make plans.
Wait, so the towers are 20 feet tall? Like the towers that we're trying to save the people from are 20 feet tall?
No, those are just the city towers.
There's one lighthouse.
At the very end of that long row of towers, the final tower is a 50-foot lighthouse. Yeah, a 50. I'm sorry, 100-foot lighthouse is the very last last tower. The ramparts are at the 20-foot mark, and the towers are at about 25. So you kind of step down to walk on a rampart, and then up into the tower, and then down across the rampart.
Okay.
Picture dots all around the city, and each one of them is another one of these tall towers.
Okay.
The lighthouse, you were told, is called the Prisoner's Hope Lighthouse, and the ferry that takes prisoners to the Poke Roque from here, that's one of the signal lights that they use to travel from that island prison back here to Xantia, the city port.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can make myself really big, like really big. So if I just like make myself really big and just lay down on the ground, you think my belly could be like a big gold cushion that you could fall on?
Maybe. I mean, you could catch them. You could grab them in your hands, maybe.
I'm not listening to anybody's plans. I think we're just gonna go kill everyone. I reverted back. I'm old Seth.
I mean, I like the idea of Angel staying and maybe feather falling them, or Don and Kipper catching them with their stomach.
Is his reaction time that fast? I feel like if they're,
I guess you do need some pretty quick
if they're already
reaction time.
falling really quickly. I mean, I don't know how the magic works. What if they see all those people coming and they're like, "Oh, they're coming to rescue the prisoners. Let's toss them," like before they get up here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I could just make myself really big and I could fall on my stomach because it's big.
Kipper, I don't have that much of a great understanding of physics, theoretical or physical, but I think that is wildly incorrect.
Well, it's like
I mean, you're better read than me, so maybe I don't know. I mean, I've read like not that much really, probably more than Monolith, which is not saying a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
I mean, does he even read at all?
he knows how.
All right.
Hmm.
Let's stay focused. All right. Let's not bring into. We don't need to talk about my reading. Okay. It's not relevant.
And not to remind you of the rules of Dungeons
I have
and
read
Dragons,
things.
but you don't have to go and save these people. You could just go do your own thing. I mean, some dusty old guy in a warehouse gave you a job. You don't have to do that job.
But
Right.
Not that the DM's telling you
I
that.
use my gun.
Because I'm just reminding you of what
and
you know.
shoot the people falling.
Well,
No.
That kind of defeats the purpose a
Yeah.
little bit.
I was just. I
you
was
know-
out of
Kill
character. I
me.
did not say that in character.
We have so many
Paul?
things pointing towards this pleasure pit that I mean, while this does seem important, why don't we just go check out what's going on? They seem to have a good crew to help out. Why don't we just go, try and get more information
I
at
mean,
the pleasure palace?
their idea is to rescue
Pleasure
these
pit.
guys and then go to the pleasure palace, the pit, the pleasure.
We don't know when they're
Their
trying.
idea is to rescue
Then
these
why
people
don't-
and then go to the pit.
Why don't we get a head start then?
I mean, we're already practically to the tower.
I mean, it just takes 2 seconds to turn a little.
Do you want to just charge into the pleasure pit and let's
I'm
deal
not.
with what we
That's not.
find?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we infiltrate the pleasure pit.
We
I'm
can't.
sure-
That's what the guy was saying. They killed everyone who's not a part of their organization inside of the pleasure pit, and I'm sure they keep it very well guarded.
But isn't the pleasure pit an establishment? Can't we go in there?
It's underground,
So, okay.
and it's not. Wait! You missed it. It's not an establishment anymore. They said it's not an establishment. Everybody who worked there,
It's overrun.
and now it's like a secret base of evil, I guess.
We can't pretend to be ignorant people who don't
They
know what's
are.
going.
They will probably either kill us or turn us away. I mean, from what I understood, from what he said,
I think we stay the
that's-
course.
All right.
Because these people escaped from Pinion's pleasure pit, right? Maybe they know of a secret entrance or something.
That's the best thing we can hope for from them. If they were people from that place, they might have more information for us. So here's our two options right now. We confront the problem head on. We walk into Pinion's pleasure palace pit shit. And we just we knock some fucking heads until somebody tells us something or we find Casey. The other one. We go with these dumbasses and we rescue some people and maybe they have some crucial information for us. And I'll leave that to you. I mean, I don't mind saving some folks, but it's not really relevant to what we're doing either.
I think that saving these guys would help us a lot. It may not be directly related, but it still is. It is directly related. They're from Pinion's pleasure pit. They can help us get in.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I mean, maybe if they know a secret entrance, but otherwise, there's no more sneaking into that place. I don't think.
I just feel like we can find a better way to do this.
Which this are you referring to?
The course we're on.
Angel and Erdon, could I get you to roll a perception check?
Yep.
Okay, so we're already headed to the lighthouse. We might as well go that way.
Hit me.
30.
Not bad. 4.
yeah.
Angel, you see spots. Erdon, you see the 3 sailors that you'd seen in your meeting pushing off of the shore. You guys have just made it to the other side of that covered bridge crossing the river. And down at the riverbank, you see a figure that seems to be on the ground, either huddled or in a clump unconscious. And you see a boat pulling away into the water and headed downstream, and it has the 3 sailors on it. And one of the big ones makes eye contact with you, making eye contact with him, and gives you a nod. And then he looks forward and begins to work the oar and keep the vessel in the middle of the river. It looks like they're taking the water route, which would be from the rest of the river out to the sea and then down to the lighthouse itself. That seems to be the way they're getting there.
Okay. How far away was he again?
You were probably seeing this at about 50 or 60 feet away.
Okay.
You were turned back towards the direction you came, but not looking through the covered bridge, instead looking down angle at the river down beneath that had just passed underneath the bridge. Down along the riverbank, you see many boats pulled up on shore, fishermen working on them, fishermen working on their catch. It was just this one little area where one of the vessels had pulled out, and the crumpled figure lay on the ground in that area.
Okay. Okay.
So you guys continue to walk across the covered bridge, and you get to a dead end, and the road goes either north or south. You want to go north if you're headed towards the direction of the lighthouse, and it's along this road that you're walking now, alongside the fence. The watchtowers every 50, 60 feet or so, and then yards. So 150 feet or so. And then in between those are the 20-foot walkways where the soldiers could potentially walk. You don't see any necessarily, but you're walking along, and the closer you get to the sea, the more the ocean smells fill the air, the more the sound of breaking waves fills your ears, and the sound of seabirds, gulls and large pelican-like birds fill the air, not only with their feathers and bodies, but with the noises they make. You're getting very close to the sea, and also where the river dumps into the sea. Instead of being a single deep channel, it branches off into a bit of a delta, and you find yourself in an area that's predominantly estuary, a place where birds come and lay their eggs seasonally and raise their hatchlings. There's a smell here, a little bit like a chicken coop, but more oceany because it's open and caught in the breeze. It's over the marshes and through the haze of flying birds that you can see at an up angle the bright flashing light of the Prisoner's Hope Lighthouse. The Prisoner's Hope Lighthouse is one of the circular type lights that shines its beam out and circles about every 8 or 9 seconds. It makes a full 360-degree swoop. And every so often you see that beam fill the air above your head. It's not dark out, but there's a gloom to the air that allows the light to be seen, and a mist in the air that helps hold the light as it passes through.
Can I cast a spell?
I believe that's allowed. What would you like to do?
Janet Tammy wants to cast Locate Creature. It lasts for about an hour, and it reaches to about 1,000 feet, and she's just looking for Casey.
Yeah, go ahead and cast it, and let me make, after you cast it, I just need to make sure of a thing.
Janet Tammy pauses for a second, and she just puts her hands over her eyes, and she mutters a short description of Casey, and then she removes her hands from her eyes, and they're glowing slightly blue.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
It is, in fact, pretty cool.
How anime of you.
Thank you.
Can you guys help me with your understanding of creature versus humanoid?
Creatures.
I'm finding some discrepancy where creature seems to be from a monster category.
Yeah, let me look up find creature, because I believe
The nearest creature of a specific kind, such as a human or a unicorn, so
Yeah.
long as you have seen a creature up close within 30 feet at least once. If
Why-
the creature is described or named in
You can locate a specific creature known to you or of that kind. Meaning, she could say, "I want to find the nearest Triton," or she could say, "I want to find the Casey."
I want to find
If
the
she
Casey.
knows- if
Why
she
are we
knows who
looking
Casey
for? Why are
is.
we looking for Casey if you can find a unicorn?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. He makes a very
Yeah,
good
fuck
fucking
Casey.
point.
Yeah.
We don't need her.
I mean, that is the point we're here. But like that, the description mentioned unicorns. Okay.
It did.
We've been
it did
sitting here all day wasting our time not looking for unicorns. What the hell?
This episode should
Farm
be
unicorns.
where are the unicorns?
That looks like it fits the bill pretty well. And let me do 1,000 feet in my head real quick. It's 10 football fields.
It's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
Cast away.
I do it again.
The first time Jen and Tammy did it, she accidentally thought of unicorns instead of Casey.
She was like,
She's like, oh,
"Shit."
wait a minute.
Wait, that's my voice.
I almost
Tammy,
need my
switch his voice for a little
ruler.
bit.
It's so close. I want to say that you are picking up on the very periphery of what you would normally be able to pick up with this spell at the full length and distance of what's capable. Just on the outside, you're sensing what you believe to be your target.
If Janet Tammy feels that, she's gonna immediately be like, guys, I feel Casey nearby.
Wait, how nearby? Are you feeling her at the Pinion's Pleasure Pit? Or
I don't
at the-
know.
at the
I'm
lighthouse?
feeling her real. It's like within at least 1,000 feet. Hold on.
You can sense direction.
If the creature is moving, you
Yeah.
have the direction of its movement. Is she moving?
She's in the opposite direction of the lighthouse.
She's in the opposite direction of the lighthouse.
You're not sure about distance, but it seems like it could be at the pit or beyond.
It could either be at the pit or beyond.
Hmm.
Should we go for her instead?
Ah.
Should we turn around? I've got this for an hour,
I don't know.
as long as I can concentrate on it.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah. I think we should
We
Kipper. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was saying we came here to find Casey. So let's go do that instead of let's just go. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, as
Which
much as I
way?
want to help people, I did see Kipper and I did see them. We saw the sailors from before. They sailed off in the water.
So let's go, right? Let's
So I
Yeah,
think- I
go.
lead
think
the
I have
way.
this
Okay,
covered.
follow me.
yeah, that
Thanks
makes
for
sense to
following.
me.
I go.
We do have to try to get the ring off of her though, because she still will attack us.
We
Why
can
don't
hold
we just
person.
cut off a finger?
We could also do that.
If we save her life, I feel like one missing finger is not so bad.
Yeah,
I
I don't
agree with
think so
that.
either. I just think it would be hard to take it off, you know?
We just have to knock her out. In
We'll figure it out.
D&D,
Just come
as
on.
long as you
Ah.
say I attack non-lethally, you should be okay.
With a
As long
gun.
as you say it. Like,
As long as you. The thing is, you have to say it.
oh,
But if I say it and
I'll
I'm
try to
using my
remember.
sword, I feel like I'll still cut their head off.
No.
if you just like,
If you say it, you're good.
yeah, it's like something in the weave, I think.
I
You know,
believe
I
it.
wanna
I
say I
believe
read
that
something
is
about that too.
exactly it.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to believe that in D&D canon, if you swing at someone with a weapon, no matter the weapon, but you say non-lethally, it won't kill them.
You have a gun point blank at their forehead, not lethal. Pull
Yeah.
the trigger. They
I'm going to
just get
shoot you
knocked out.
non-lethally. And they're like, wow, how
He just turns
convenient.
into a sleep dart.
But then you get really clever with it, and you start saying it for other people. So when someone's going to attack you,
He hits me
you make them say that
non-lethally.
it's non-lethal.
So you pass through
Oh,
the
that's
covered bridge, heading back towards the direction you've been walking.
Yes.
And you take a direct route. And as your group continues to walk, you start approaching what appears to be a very fancy, it's almost styled to look like an ancient castle. but there's a fresh newness to it, and it's in the center of the city. And as you get closer, you start to even see signage leading towards it, and some in the distance on the structure itself. You can tell for sure that you're looking at Pinion's Pleasure Pit. And while the building itself doesn't go up very, very high, and it's not very imposing, you've been told already that the vast majority of the square footage is underground. Many, many, many floors underground. You get close enough to be able to even see some of the entries, some of the double doors that would normally be standing open with colorfully clad guest services members, but there's nobody there, and the doors are closed, and there's nothing about the place that seems welcoming or open. Janet Tammy concentrates for a minute and senses that the Casey ping that she'd felt wasn't here, certainly in this direction. That hadn't changed, but it's beyond the pit. It's beyond about another. I'm not sure if she's got a very good handle on distance, but it seems like you've already traveled most of the distance, and you have about half as far again to go deeper into the city. You also know from some diagrams that you'd seen that the pleasure pit is in the dead center of town, and the direction that you're traveling now, if you look in that direction, seems pretty nondescript, except about 300 or 400 feet away, yards away, there's a very tall set of towers. They seem to be on each of the four corners of another rather tall building. It looks royal to you, like a regal palace, maybe. But that's the direction that you sense Casey. What would you like to do from this point? You're staring at the PPP and headed towards and aiming in the direction of where you think Casey might be.
Guys, I think she's in that bigger building past this place. Do you think we're underdressed? I mean, I know my overalls are pretty fancy, but do you think we need some fancier clothes?
Again, it is not a business anymore. It is.
No, we're not. No, Casey's not in the pleasure pit. She's in the palace-looking place, I think.
Yes, you mean the king? It must be the king's palace, right?
Maybe it looks pretty royal.
There's no way they're gonna let us in.
I feel like if we're rescuing our kidnapped friend, I don't think our clothes are gonna matter, because they'll probably try to kill us.
What if we go in with a ruse? What if we go in and we're like, this person was trying to kill the king, and Angel can do that cool trick where they turn into.
But the king is just a pawn now of the.
But don't we? What if we take the ring off the king?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be so simple.
That'd be good. I mean, it definitely would be difficult, but it'd be good.
What if I just cast a fireball on the whole place, and then we go inside and find Casey?
Well, that's certainly an idea.
I like some of that idea. I don't know if you can blow up a whole castle, but you can definitely blow up a piece of it. So long as this castle isn't only 25 feet wide.
We could just wait until she comes out.
Casey?
Yeah, just wait it out.
Wait by the door and then ambush her.
Not somewhere we can find a place to wait until she comes out.
Like in a bush.
She can't be in there forever, right?
If you started moving, are you having this conversation in the street, or are you walking towards the larger building in the distance?
I think we've stopped. I think we've stayed still. I don't think we've moved yet.
Yeah, we're kind of.
Okay, then you're at a distance, standing back from the pit, and you're looking at one of the entrance points from a safe distance.
Yeah.
And that's where you're having your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look around and see if anybody's watching us or anything?
Yeah. Perception check.
I got a natural 20.
You are incredibly perceptive. Behind you, to the right and the left and up above you, not a soul. Nobody is watching you. in the direction of Pinion's pleasure pit. Yeah.
Who's watching? Can I see?
The window, the top of the building has the kind of grooves that are cut in for archers to use. And you see the top of somebody's head in two of those little alcoves, two of those little cuts. And it seems that the people there are looking down and watching everybody in the street. And right now, that just happens to be you. You also notice with your natural 20 that the streets are eerily quiet. And while there was a hustle and bustle several blocks back, this whole area seems to be quiet. And not only are there no people, you don't see any stray cats running around. You don't see birds flying or landing. It's just quiet.
Janet Tammy's gonna pause slightly. She's gonna nudge Zeph a little bit and just kind of look up at like where they're watching us. And then she's gonna be like, I'll be right back. And then she walks a little bit. She crouches in front of Zeph, and then she turns into a mouse, and then she starts scurrying towards the pleasure palace as a mouse.
Okay. While you were doing that, I verified that the slits that are cut into the buildings for archers to use are called arrow slits. So that comes from the Anglo word arrow and the Germanic word slit.
Wow.
Arrow slit, yeah. I know that a lot of you are interested in the derivation of these terms, and I don't want to leave you hanging.
And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Etymology stream we have.
It's all about the learning. Janet Tammy, as a mouse, could you describe, again, you turned into a mouse, you're headed down the walkway, and your goal is to get close to the pleasure pit?
Yeah. Can I revise what I turned into?
Sure.
Can I turn into a spider?
It won't move quite as quickly, but I don't think we're in a big hurry here, right? Unless you turn into one of those larger tarantula-sized spiders.
No, I was hoping for like a daddy long leg looking ass bitch.
Okay.
Why are you doing this to me?
With your daddy long legs, you begin to make rather large daddy long leg strides, trying to take advantage of your long legs and move a little bit faster. And as such, you have no problem climbing. As soon as you get to the pleasure pit, you hit the wall and begin to make the exact same speed up that you were making across. And you climb all the way up to the arrow slit to the left of one of the people that was watching you. And you sneak your way around that arrow slit as a spider and peek around the side and look down. And you're seeing two individuals that are looking down over the pleasure pit, or I'm sorry, over the arrow slits, and they're clearly peering down at your party. One of them is whispering to the other, and as you're looking at them and trying to see if you recognize them, you don't think that you do. You don't think that you recognize them, but one of them says, "Wait a minute. Hold on. Weren't there more of them? Just a second." And you see him reach into a pouch and pull out a component. You can't tell what it is, but he crumbles it up in his hand and he begins to mutter a word, and he moves both of his gesture. And then he turns his head really quick and he looks directly into Janet Tammy's spider eyes and he says, "She's here." And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Not like this.
As Janet Tammy is being stared at by the individual that found her.
She waves with two of her spider hands.
That's horrible. I hate it.
They're called mandibles.
Those are spider jaws.
Those are the mouth.
Oh, is that not what you were doing? I thought you were doing the little...
No,
like,
with her hands, with her arms.
With her
She's saying hi.
disgusting little
She's waving.
spider arms.
Got it.
That's so funny.
Everybody,
You can't poison these guys.
we're not necessarily done, but that does complete our episode for the night. Is there anything anybody wants to say about anime, manga, Dirk Gently?
Fucking watch it tonight.
If you
I
wanna
know you're not
read-
doing anything. Do it.
Hey, let me tell you what I am
if you
doing,
like-
friends and
What
neighbors.
are you doing?
Oh, what are you doing?
Let me tell you. It's May 1st today, if you weren't
Yes.
aware.
I was.
And I think I've already told all of you 5 or 6 times, and you've all pleasantly pretended like it's the first time every time, that I haven't watched animated movies in like a decade.
Yes.
Aside from
What?
Spider-Man Into the
Right.
Spider-Verse and that Dory 2, because Ellen showed it to us here in Orlando.
I remember Ellen gave it to us.
Right? Aside
Thanks,
from those
Ellen.
2, I have... Oh, and
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's it called? Ghost in the Shell. Saw that one too. So those 3.
Ooh, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Wait,
Yeah,
think about the
definitely
new one or
worth
the old one?
The new one.
Yeah.
And you know what? Both. I watched the old one after watching the new one back to back because I wanted to see the difference.
I've heard it's really good.
It's really, really good. Both versions are good. I've got nothing but good things to say. And I even watched a bunch of video essays tearing them both apart. And I agree with what they say, but it doesn't make me not love them both still. They're both just quality.
Hmm.
And now there's a series apparently, so I need to go check that out. But that's not the point. The point is that we finally reached May, and for all 30, January, February, March, April, all 31 days of May, I am watching a different animated movie to make up for a missed decade. And tonight, when we're off the air, I'm starting with the very first one, Frozen.
You're watching Frozen?
I hear it's a movie that people like. Like some people say they like it, and there's some music that
I
I've
throw
heard.
it up and down. It's okay.
I know there's a snowman I'm supposed to like, and an elk or something.
Frozen 2 is good.
And you know, I got that on the list. I've got to watch Frozen 1. Might as well watch Frozen 2. But I'm not doing back to back like Monday,
Yeah.
the first and the second.
You gotta
I might
watch.
Be like the
Frozen
15th.
Good luck, my dude.
Tell me.
There
give me
is a
some
recap of Frozen
suggestions.
1 and Frozen 2.
I have a lot of suggestions.
There
I-
is.
I'm
Any
not just looking for like obscure stuff. I'm also looking for all the mainstream stuff I missed out on.
any Studio Ghibli movie.
I'll leave it
Studio-
at that.
Ghibli?
Yeah.
GHIBILI.
Yes.
They're
Okay.
the people who make Spirited Away, if you know who that is.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah,
know
for
that
sure.
movie.
Kiki's
Yeah,
delivery
that
service,
company.
you know.
Oh, Kiki's is
I have a
my
question.
all-time favorite Studio Ghibli movie. Fucking love
Probably saw
that.
Kiki's 100 times with these kids growing up.
Mm.
What
Bye.
year?
Love
What
it.
year are we talking? A decade, right? So like
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
Up might have been the last Pixar I saw. Grant?
Okay. Big Hero 6
I have
is,
a
you know,
question.
it's got to be on there.
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. I'll do
Ooh,
Big
yeah. Yeah. You gotta watch
You'll
that.
like that one.
Good one.
Yeah.
You watched Tangled?
Okay.
Tangled. Tangled
Tangled
is
is-
so good.
Did you watch
Yes.
Brave?
What
Mommy likes
counts-
Brave a lot.
What counts as an what is your classification of an animated movie? Like, are we talking pure animation, or are we talking like
You
a
mean,
movie
like-
with so much CGI that it might as well be a cartoon?
No, I'm really looking for like the art of animated films. So like what Disney made, Pixar,
You've seen
anything that
the Spider-Verse movie, right?
yeah.
I was gonna say, okay, cool.
I might even put that back in the list though. It's such an amazing film.
Honestly.
Oh, right.
I know it's
The Little
TV, but
Witch?
She-Ra's really good.
She-Ra's good.
I've heard Shira is good. Yes.
I recommend is it the Littlest Witch or the Little Witch?
That's an anime.
It's not Studio Ghibli, but it's like by someone who works for Studio Ghibli or something.
I know what you're talking about. I want to say it's the Littlest Witch. I could be wrong.
I want to say it's
I've got a couple of things too that I'll send you. I'll make a list, bro.
Okay. Zoe, is Alberon on tonight? Beautiful. So if you're with us right now and you made it through the last few minutes, we're about to raid Alberon RPG after we let our finale fire video play and all that other good stuff. So please stick with us and hang out as we get to Alberon. If we're lucky, you can right now text some friends and get them to come in just for this last little bit. and we'll raid Alberon with double digits. Maybe we can get up to 10 or 11 people in there before we go. That would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Make sure to log in on your phone, you guys.
For everybody else, I can't thank you enough for being here with us. The weekend has officially started. You know it because we've played Dungeons and Dragons, and now we're sending you off out into the big, beautiful world. And those of you in the game, you've got 6 days and 18 hours or so to figure out what you're going to do when you get back. You've engaged the guards at the pleasure pit.
We have engaged with them.
It's on.
I used my 4th level spell. I'm out of 4th level spells because I only had one.
I can't
That is
imagine
rough.
you're going to need anything at all.
Oh no.
The spider's like HP's like 2.
Isn't it 1 plus 1d4 or something like that?
Probably.
It's not what one would like to call a lot of health.
Right. Naturally.
For sure. Naturally.
Anyways, bye.
And with that, we love you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
We'll see you next Friday at 7 p.m. Stick around for
See you
Alberon.
later.
Bye.